What's up? What's going on there, big boy? How the hell are you? Good morning, Jim. What's going on, Moto? I don't have my regular phone holder. So I've just got the phone perched. So I don't know. Can you guys hear this okay? Are we good? Just drinking my first cup of coffee. Dude, you're late. It's 7:25 where I'm at right now, and I've got 2 in me already. And I've got 1 thermos, but 2 coffees right here with me. You need to up your game there, Bull. Look at that sun, eh? It's been a while. We have not had sun. We have not had a bright sunny morning in about 2.5 weeks. Rain. Slept in. Well, I didn't sleep in, dude. I was up at 3 o'clock. Went downstairs, had the first cup of coffee. Had a couple of smokes. Got half a second cup of coffee into me, and then went back to bed. And I didn't get out of bed till I guess about a little after 5. About 5:15. That sleep 5:15, 5:30. That's sleeping in for me, TJ. That's how I sleep in. Good morning or whatever it is. You a little confused there, Holler? A little confused this morning, are you? It's morning. I'll clue you in. It's morning. I don't know where you're at, but it's 7:25 a.m. where I am. Yeah, 5 o'clock is a nice time, eh? Because you're up before everybody else. You get the whole place to yourself. You get some quiet time. You get to wake up, get your thoughts together, have a cup of coffee. You're not answering questions, and there's nothing going on around you. Me, it's nice. I sit out on the back porch, and have my coffee. It's quiet, and it's still, well, by 5 o'clock the sun's coming up, but it's not like it is now. It's not daylight. So, and I'm usually good with that. I know 2 things. I'm above the dirt and the sun is shining. Well, you know what? That's important. It's definitely important. If you're talking and texting, then you're probably above the dirt. So I know I'm not talking to an undead guy, an unalive guy, or however you want to say it. Myself personally, Holler, I'm glad you're here. Always glad to see you around. Ryan, damn good to see you, son. How are you? You doing all right this morning, brother? Got a bunch of shit taken care of yesterday, so I was able to get some time this morning before I have to go and do anything else. Prioritizing. I hate that word. I really, truly do. I hate prioritizing. Because it usually means I'm not doing my will. Which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. If I'm not doing my own will, it's usually quite good. When I start doing my will or enforcing my will upon myself or others, shit usually goes sideways very quickly. Very, very quickly. So get priorities in line. Took care of a bunch of stuff yesterday. And here I am sitting here talking to 9 of you. 9 of you and 5 likes. Come on, cheap asses. Hit the like button. Sit and watch this sun. Just watch the sun for a bit. Just watch the sun for a bit. It's a beautiful morning. It's only 14 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is. 14, I think it's like 29, 30 something like that. It's not overly warm. Likes cost too much. Well, it's much like anything. There's probably a toll, a tax on it, or a toll on it, or I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't looked in a while. Believe me, if you guys are getting charged for the like button, I'm not getting any money from it. Good to see you back at it. Well, I'm not going to go balls to the wall hauler. I'm not going to go like I did and go like 7 days and then take a couple off and go 7 days, and that's a lot of burnout, and that's a lot of brain work. I don't know about some people. Some people it comes naturally. You know, you look at Best and you look at other people like that, and they can sit there and do 4, 5, 7, 10 hours and their mouth never stops. They're just naturally gifted and able to do that kind of. For me to do 4 hours, like 4 or 5 hours every single day, holy Jesus. My brains and my mouth were my brains were like tapioca at the end of 4 or 5 hours. You'll be sitting on the side of the road again tomorrow. Dude, you're making a fucking career out of this. I'm assuming it's delivering those. You're still doing those flower loads then, right? You put enough zeros or you put enough money behind it, I'll sit on the side of the road all day long too. But hopefully you're sitting on the side of the road for a good reason, not because you're broken down or, or because you got no load and you got nowhere to go. God damn, that's hot. That sun is just blasting through the windshield right now. Holy crap. I just got the notifications that Moto went live. Anybody that knows Dean or the Moto Bomb, or watches him and Sick and the boys over there, feel free to go pop over there and say hello. Moto's good people. So Sick Bastard. Love Sick's name. Sick Bastard's probably got one of the best handles out there that I've seen. Getting back into supplying, into hauling supplies for road project. What are you doing? Hauling road cones? I've hauled millions and millions of pounds of those goddamn fucking concrete road dividers, whatever you want to call those things. I've hauled those things everywhere. They're easy to load, they're easy to offload, but goddamn are they heavy. And they don't, surprisingly enough, they don't pay. Other than that, road projects, I don't know what road projects is. I'm slowly becoming dumber and dumber in the ways of trucking because I'm not driving anymore. I'm not on the driving end of it anymore. It's kind of nice. It's bittersweet, to be honest with you. It's kind of nice because I'm not going through the daily grind of driving and hauling and in and out of the truck and doing this and that and the other, but it's bittersweet because, you know, I do miss it. I do miss it. I do miss long haul trucking. I do miss, you know, sleeping in a truck. Don't get me wrong, I don't miss it enough to make me go do it again. I would much rather be sleeping in my own bed every night, which I am. Um, and I'm enjoying that immensely. But I do miss sleeping in the truck. I do miss, you know, going all over, you know, all the states and all the provinces and waking up in a different place and seeing all the things that you see, the good things. Of course, there's always the negative things that you see, you know, in this life. But I don't miss the stress, and what I don't miss is I don't miss that damn ticking clock. You know what I'm talking about? Paula, you know what I'm talking about because you're running on one. There's Shannon Thomas. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning from home. Truck is in the shop. I don't miss that. I'm not missing that one single bit. Although I'm still on the hook for the bills for the trucks, but I'm not missing. I'm not missing having you know, for me having to sit down and, you know, get a hotel or do whatever because one of the trucks or my truck's broken down. So good to see you, Shannon. Kamel, good. Oh man, there's Kamel. Good to see you, Kamel. Thanks for being here, brother. Oh, you know when you got an itch in that one spot and you're frickin', I got arms as long as goddamn pterodactyl frickin' wings, and I can't reach this one spot. Son of a bee. Son of a bee. I just cannot reach it. Cannot reach it. Oh. So we're gonna get back a little bit here. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this every day, but I am gonna sit here and try to catch some more sunrises now that we're forecasted for some better weather over the next couple of days. So I'm not gonna go every day, but yeah, I know, Shannon. I know it's coming. I've got reasons for what I'm doing, and it's nothing on you, okay, sweetheart. It's nothing on you. But I've got reasons for what I'm doing, and for the people I'm talking to and the people I'm not talking to, and it's not on you. We are going to catch up. I will get there. Okay, I will get there. I don't want you to take it too. I'm sure you've taken it personally, and please understand and don't. Okay, you've done nothing wrong. You haven't done anything. You've never done anything to me. You've never crossed me. You've never betrayed me in any way, shape, or form. And you know, and I love you for that, and I appreciate you for that, and I'm more than that, I respect you for that. And I just don't take it personally. Just be patient with me right now, okay? We're gonna get there. And I miss you too. I do. I'd be lying if I said I don't. I miss you too. When I call you, okay, you'll understand. You truly will. I do what I do for reasons of my own. I don't, you know, much other people, and my way of thinking is, I don't answer to anybody. You know, I answer to myself and maybe a power far greater than myself up in the sky, that bearded man up there. But other than that, I don't answer to anybody. So I do what I do for a reason, and it's usually for a good reason. I don't dick around, and I don't mince words with anybody or about anybody. If I've got something to say, I will say it. But when I don't have anything to say, you know what? It's time just to shut the fuck up and not say anything. Oh, I could look at that all day. If that sun just sat there like that all day, I'd look at it all day long. I really would. Anybody who's got a coffee, grab one. Grab a mouthful. Oh. Anybody who's interested, not that there would be, but my Cascadia is up for sale. I have given up completely on the new technology and the new school of trucking, or truck-wise. And I do not have any faith or belief in it. So I think, the best thing in certain aspects, in certain areas of business and in the trucking industry is to stick with the old iron. Stick with the old 6NZs and the 60 series, and you know what? They're going to get you where you need to go, and they're reliable, and that's where we've gone. So the Cascadia is up for sale. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. What's going on, Tyrannus? Ronaldo, good to see you. Good to see you. What is your country? Man, I'm in Canada. I'm in Alberta, Canada. I'm out west in the western provinces. If Ronaldo, if you're an American, my province of Alberta borders with the U.S. state of Montana. Damn good to see you, Tyrannus. How you doing, brother? You're looking wonderful this morning, man. You're actually looking a little sarcastic, so let's bring it on. It looks like it's going to be a glorious day. Well, you know what? It is going to be a glorious day. That sun is just about, I'll turn it around in a minute, turn the camera around in a minute. I'm just, the sun's just almost above the visor. If I turn it around right now, the sun's hitting me in the eyes, so. Morning 2-4, what's going on, brother from another mother out in the East Coast there, Nova Scotia boy. Damn good to see you, man. Taking them a morning sun stroll with Dee Dee, then coffee. You know what? I've already done that. No, I didn't walk Dee Dee, obviously, but I took my little man Charlie. We did a little stroll this morning as the sun was coming up, and I love that. I don't know what it is, although I find it difficult now for some reason, unless I have a thermos. I used to take my coffee cup, right, and take the dog for a walk. But for some reason, every damn person in the world right now, that usually about between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, or not even them, say 6 o'clock and 6:30, everybody in the world wants to take their goddamn dog for a walk. So it's hard to hold on to your dog with a coffee cup, and frickin' dogs are playing and carrying on. And so I've had to leave my coffee cup at home these days. Nikki Lee. Girl, good to see you. How the hell you doing this morning, girl? You doing all right? Oh. Every day above ground is a glorious day. Hey, man, I'm not complaining about jack shit. Sorry, I moved the camera there. My apologies. It's a glorious day. Well, I can tell you honestly, every day above ground is a good day. And in some cases, it's a great day, but not every day is a glorious day. Damn. I could buy another truck, but these new trucks are a young man's game, complete with the subscriptions. Oh, Jesus Christ, let me tell you. Mine's not even new. Like, mine's a 2020, right? If you look at the difference between the 2020, what I have, and say the 2024, 2025 Cascadias, yeah, they got the DD15s in them, and yeah, but I mean, the technology is even in the 5 years. I wouldn't want a brand new truck right now. I wouldn't, man. It is just a pain in the ass. You're going to go out and spend 400,000, not quite. We're getting there, but you're going to spend 200,000, and this is Canadian. We're going to spend $250,000 on a computer, and they're going to throw the truck in for free. It's just ridiculous with the technology and the sensors and all the shit that's on them now, man. Like, who the hell can keep track? Like, I open the hood on the Western Star. It's got it's a 97. You open the hood on the Western Star. It's got an 18-speed manual with a 60 series, 12.760 series Detroit in it. I know what everything is. I know what everything is that I'm looking at. everything on that engine. I can point out everything on that engine right there, and I'm probably gonna run out of fingers before I count everything. It's like, okay, I open the hood on one of these new trucks. Jesus Christ, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I know that's a turbo. I know that's an alternator. I got to crawl under it and fucking look down the side to see the starter. But other than that, man, I don't have a damn clue. Get a life, Mr. Ponderosa. With a name like that? Who's talking? Damn. I'm technically over the hill in life. I'll ride whatever down to the bottom. Yeah, well, you know what? There's a lot of us doing that. There's a lot of us doing that. Damn. I'm over the hill for the driving portion of it. I am. I said a long time ago, and I even said it, eventually in this business, I wanted to get to a point where I was going to get paid for what I know, not for what I do. Right? I don't want to be out there for 70 hours a week. I don't want to be out there racing a fucking goddamn clock. I don't want to do that anymore. And that's work. That's work. That's hard work. And I don't want to do that no more. I'd rather get paid for what I know and the things that I know and the things that I can implement and the things that I can help with. And I'd rather get paid for that than actually do the physical work. I got a 100-pound German Shepherd. I can't walk him with a coffee in my hand, especially if a fox or squirrel runs by. Well, I don't have a 100-pound German Shepherd. I got a frickin' 18-pound King Charles Spaniel. And you'd think he thinks he's a 100-pound German Shepherd. He really does. He thinks he's a 100-pound German Shepherd. Jesus. What's going on? It's morning, Sterling. Top of the morning to you, son. How are you? I love the name. Hot Wang, I'll give it to you. You got a pretty fucking pretty good handle there. You got your 2 minutes of fame. Anybody living in New Orleans? Lock up your children, animals, and wives. Sterling's on his way. Oh, how we doing? We good? I think we're good. We can turn this around. There we go. Hold on. Excuse me. Damn, that was good. Ooh, there we go. See what I mean? Like the sun is just above there. Like it's just giving me, if I put this down, maybe, there we go, even a little bit more. Sorry about but now I've got the white across here is glaring back on the screen. I can't see a goddamn thing on the screen. Can't see anything you guys are writing. Got to do this. Same with all vehicles. My 2000 F-250 will outlast my 2020. Oh, no shit. No shit. Well, Alberta, the province of Alberta here, we don't have the emissions standards that the rest of the country does. Like you can drive around out here as long as you're working within the province. Old engine and old iron, you probably see as much of it out here as you do the new stuff. And if you've got, like, say, my truck, a 2020 that's out of warranty, it's done. I can delete that truck and run legally in this province as long as I stay in this province, right? As long as I'm not leaving the province or going anywhere, you can delete your trucks out here, and they'll still safety them, and they'll still pass, and they're still good. That's one really cool thing about living in Alberta. We can do that out here. We are not. They are not stringent on the emissions. Which I think is hilarious anyway. because I had a 97 W9 with a 60 series, and in Ontario we have to take it, and you have to, when you get it safety, it has to pass the emissions test, and they plug it in, or they do this the sniff test, and my 60 series came out cleaner than the Freightliner did for emissions. You believe that shit? A 97 60 series, 12.760 series to Detroit came out cleaner on the emissions test than the damn Freightliner did. And I would put the Western Star and the other Freightliner, and one has a 60 series, one has a 6NZ. I'd put both of them up against that Cascadia as well, and I bet you they'd turn around and pass the test cleaner than the goddamn Freightliner does, or any of these new trucks. I was tempted as a joke to scrape off, that stupid sticker. Taranis, you probably got one on your truck. Sterling, you got one on yours. It says that zero emissions, clean, zero emissions. I was tempted to scrape that off and stick it on the Western Star. Runs cleaner. Smells better. Love the smell. We've had some cold mornings here. Love the smell of a 6NZ with a cold start. Be careful where you park, Sterling. Yeah, if you're going to New Orleans, especially depending on where. Especially if you're down in the south end, whew, look out, baby. We could still delete diesels here and Nova Scotia as well. I didn't know you could do that on the East Coast. I think it's like primarily Ontario and BC. Ontario, BC, Quebec. I think Manitoba is mandatory, but I'm not 100% sure. Go find some farmers and work seasonal. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. Winter's off, baby. Loving it. Looking forward to it. You heard that DEF is just a tax, just a scam? Well, in the beginning it wasn't, but it is now. Basically, like, without breaking it down, basically all DEF is fucking dish soap and water, right? And now some bunch of fucking geniuses out in California who are the ones that, wanted the DEF, and they pushed it and they made it, California is responsible for all this new emission shit anyway. You're welcome. Thanks, California. But a bunch of geniuses out in California discovered that DEF fuel is actually worse for the goddamn atmosphere and for your lungs and for breathing than regular emissions. Because with regular exhaust emissions, it comes out of the pipes, it comes out of the stick, goes through the engine, fuel goes through the engine, it gets burnt, and the exhaust goes up into the air, and then it settles to the ground. DEF fluid goes same thing, gets mixed with your fuel. It then gets burnt. It goes through EGR, it gets shot through again, and then goes through the exhaust and goes out the. But what happens with burnt DEF fluid, the residue, it doesn't settle to the ground like regular exhaust does, right? DEF fluid stays in the air. Now, don't get me wrong, so does some natural exhaust, it does, but most of it will settle to the ground. DEF fluid doesn't, it stays in the air. And now these boneheads out in California have discovered that breathing problems and more breathing problems and more breathing problems are the result of DEF fluid that is still in the air. Yes, it comes out of the stacks. They claim it comes out of the stacks cleaner, but the end result is it doesn't have the same, like, it doesn't have the same pattern. As it doesn't come down, it doesn't settle on the ground and rain or whatever. Rain washes it away, or however the fuck it works. I'm not a scientist, but it stays in the air and you're breathing it. Who knew? My truck is a hybrid. It burns oil and diesel. Well, that's good. Well, not good if it's a new one. If it's a new truck burning diesel and oil, you're going to have a fucking problem. You got a head gasket. But if it's a 60 series and it's burning oil and diesel, keep on trucking, push that thing right to the ground, push that pedal right to the floor, and keep on going. I was who was I talking to? I was talking to Jeremy the other day. He just bought. He gave up as well. He's selling his Volvo, and he just bought a 99, I think, a 97 or a 99, a Western Star as well, with a 60 series. And we were just talking about it, and you know how they're slobber knockers. They drip oil, right? They're always dripping oil. And I said to him, I said, dude, if you wake up in the morning and there's no oil on the ground, that means the block is empty. They're like BMWs, right? You better fucking check your block. You better go check your block because you're empty. You're empty. Woo. Toot toot, flash flash, and all the trucker trash. Morning, Brother Brian, and everybody. Good to see you, Puck. Good to see you around. I have not been around, so it's good to see you here. I think the only one that I've been watching religiously would be, or not religiously, but the only channels I've been really watching has been Moto and the boys over there do their morning show, and then they usually drop one in the evening. So Moto and Sick, I've been watching them. And Shannon Thomas, when she goes live on Sunday morning, she didn't go live last Sunday. But when she goes live, I tune in. I don't always say anything. Most of the time, I just sit around in the background and I just listen and watch and listen and watch and listen and carry on and do whatever I'm doing for the day. But those are the only two I really watch anymore. Mostly because, for lack of a better word, now this is going to sound fucking goofy coming out of my mouth, but they're fairly wholesome. Right there, you go watch Moto, and there's no drama, there's no bullshit, there's no swearing, there's no well, there's the occasional cuss word. You know, I've heard Moto slip the shit word out there once in a while, but you don't hear F-bombs, and you don't hear, and he's got a good group, and you know, it's kind of, I just like sitting back and relaxing. It's easy to watch, it's good, wholesome, and they talk about shit that I like. Right? They're primarily talking about motorcycles and riding and different situations and this and that. And if they're not talking about that, they're talking about what Moto's usually got a panel of guys on there, and they're talking about something going on in one of their lives. And so I enjoy that. And same with Shannon. Shannon on Sunday mornings. You know, you're not going to get, you know, pulled into the drama pool, and you're not going to get any shit going on. You know, you're going to hear about what she's doing, a lot of what she's doing, though. Shannon really is on this, I don't want to call it a diet because it's not, but she's on the carnivore. And so if you are interested in carnivore, it's good to watch her. But every once in a while, I have to like, oh God, okay, enough carnivore, enough diet. Like, let's talk about boobs or something. You hear me, Shannon? We need to talk about boobs or something once in a while. Just throw a curve from left field out there. I just read that comment. That's funny as shit. That is funny as shit, T-Bone. Watching chicken videos. No, dude, there's no chicken videos. Not watching chicken videos. Although I made the mistake yesterday. One of my kids sent me something on Instagram, and I don't play on Instagram. Right? I have it because a couple of my kids have channels on, whatever you want to call it, on Instagram. So I watch what they put out, and I don't really watch anything else. I'll watch whatever they're doing. And then I kind of carry on and get on with my day. But fuck, I fell down the Instagram hole yesterday. My God, there's a lot of garbage on there. It's worse than the YouTube shorts. It really is. Like, there's everything from what, like T-Bone fucking talking about, like chicken videos. If I see one more furry little kitten cat video, I'm going to throw up. Or these stupid, not stupid, but you know, if you see one or two or three, maybe that's fine. If you watch for, say, an hour and you see one or two of them, that's fine. But these, I love you for these reasons. And then it's all mushy. Now, some of that, great. But man, when you see 26 of them, it's like, oh, come on. You don't, and then I'm looking at the screen going, you don't love her that much. Or she doesn't love you that much. Who knows? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Them damn chickens have been cooking months ago. Have been cooked months ago. Yeah, you send me chickens, I'm eating them. I'm not making videos out of them. And I'm not making cooking videos out of them either, but I'm eating them. Shannon was talking about her butt being thick on her last live. You just missed it? Did I miss that? Yeah, but I'll guarantee you, Tyrannus, it had something to do with her butt was being thick because of the diet, the carnivore diet that she was eating. Either way, it don't matter. Keep doing what you're doing, Shannon. I love watching you anyway. 2 years, 2 years yesterday, by the way. Yeah, I saw it. I thought of you. Sorry, I've got a pop can. What did I do with it? I hate throwing cigarettes out the window. I really do. It's not environmentally friendly. I hate to do that, but yeah, Buck, I saw it. I thought of you. Glad to see you're in a good state of mind and you're still around and you're still doing what you're doing. You know, that's all you can ask for. You take the adversity, you take the heartache, you take the pain, you take the loneliness, you take everything, you wrap it all up, you deal with it, and then you carry on. And life gets easier, you know, as you go on. It gets, you know, it hurts a little less and less every single day, man. The crack house down the street had a rooster show up for about a week. 90% sure they traded it for crack. I don't think we have a crack house in Strathmore. I don't. We got a really big RCMP station right in the middle of town. And it's like adjacent, like there's by the school, it's by anything where there could be anything shady going on. They put the cop shop right in the middle of it. So it's not that bad here. I would imagine there's probably, it's a small town, so there's probably a drug problem of some type, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's fentanyl, it's coke, it's crack, it's meth. I couldn't tell you. I haven't looked and I haven't inquired, and I really, you know, I mind my own business while I'm in town here. Status 01. What's going on there, man? What up, Wheel Burner, man? I'm doing okay today. Having a pretty good day. The sun came up. It was a marvelous sunrise. I haven't been harassed by the cops yet. I got a full thermos of coffee and a pack of cigarettes, and I'm in a good mood. I got nothing to complain about. Really, I don't. All I know is I heard her say it and my ears perked up. Are you sure that's all that perked up there, Tyrannus? I don't think so. I think you're lying to the group here, man. I think you're lying to the group, dude. I think you heard Shannon talking about her butt and you got your happy place popped up. It's nice as well. You got the nicer weather, and we haven't seen a lot of it. I'm probably going to see a lot of it today. All the old boys got their old cars out, eh? It's nice. Although Alberta only has 4.5 million, maybe 4 million, whatever. It's got, let's say 4 million or 4.5 million people in it. The whole province only has 4.5 million people in it. I think they've got more vintage cars out here per square fucking mile than they do anywhere else in Canada. And that includes Ontario or BC. You know, those are big provinces. Same with Quebec. You know, there's I don't know how many umpteen million people in Ontario, and same with BC. But the old iron out here on the cars is phenomenal. You can literally sit at the Tim Hortons on the corner over there, and if you want to sit in the indoors and get one of the corner shots, and just literally sit there and watch the old cars go by, and you hear them before you see them. Fantastic, fantastic. And I've seen everything since I've been here, right? Since I've been here, I've seen just about, you name a frickin' vehicle, I think I've seen it. Anything from the mid to late 50s all the way up to like where I like them. Like I don't go much past like 75, right? You get into that. I don't get much past 1975. So I go from like 55 to 75. That's the era where, you know, if you're driving one of those and it goes by, you're going to catch my eye and I'm going to look at it. I don't even care really if it's in really, you know, you don't have to have it restored to mint condition. You know, there's a lot of guys out here that they're rolling projects. So they're driving them as they're working on them, and I'll still look at them. They look good. They look damn good. And I'm loving it. I really am. Especially the old vets, the 63s and up to 63 up to 63 up to 72, and the Mustangs, the 64, 65 up till about 73, 74. A 72 Opel GT. I can't say that I've seen that, Buck. Although I guarantee you it's here. It's here. Alberta is a big, when it comes to like pickup trucks, it's primarily Dodge and Ford, right? Pickup trucks. When it comes to cars, it is probably primarily Japanese out here for cars. But pickup trucks. But when you get to the vintage, like all the vintage cars, it's all Ford and Chev. I don't see a lot of Mopar out here for the vintage cars. Like I don't see any Roadrunners. I don't see any Dusters. I don't see any of that kind of shit out here. You might see one once in a while, but they're all Fords and Chevs. They're all like, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going out to buy a bunch of, you know, Dodges or Plymouths just to even it out, but it's still good to see. Loving it. Hard to believe in Texas you get a classic plate on a 2002 now. Yeah, I think out here it's 25 years. I think right across Canada. And they don't call them vintage plates or a classic plate. They call it a heritage plate, right? Now, the good thing is if you got a heritage plate, your insurance is like fucking $35 a year, right? But there are rules and regulations. Like you can't go cross country with this car, right? And you can't go, there's certain things you can't do. It's supposed to be a weekend driver, right? So that's why they give you the insurance break, because it's just a weekend driver, which is what I'd be using it for anyway. You know, if I had a 63 Corvette, I would not be driving that thing. It wouldn't be a daily driver, obviously. You put it away in the winter and you don't drive it in the, you drive it in the summer, and you're probably not gonna, I wouldn't be sitting out here idling it, fucking doing, you know, doing lives and shit like that. Sorry. Don't have my bifocals on. I gotta put my head down to look out to see distance, and I gotta put my head up so I can read the chat. What are you smoking? Weed? No, we're not smoking weed. It's just a plain old simple cigarette. No weed. No weed. Not allowed. I'm not allowed to smoke weed. What's going on, Dorlina? Good to see you, honey. Good to see you. Your ears must have been burning. I was talking about you yesterday. I was talking with you with somebody. Well, I know actually it doesn't matter because you don't know who he was, but I was talking about you with somebody, and we were talking about old trucks and old iron. I was talking about, you know, there's this gal I know, and she's been trucking for fucking ever, and she's got this beautiful fucking Pete trigger and whatever, but your ears must have been burning. I was talking about you. I was hyping you up. Yeah, same in Texas. You don't have to have any insurance, but you can only go to shows, car wash, or repair shop. There you go. say, well, no, it's not the same here. You got to have, in Canada, it is mandatory. It is against the law to drive with no insurance. Your car will be parked and they will tow it if you drive with no insurance in Canada, anywhere in Canada. You have to have the bare minimum, which would be collision, right? You can smoke weed if you ain't crossing the border. Well, I can, and because I'm not crossing the border, I'm not even trucking anymore, so it makes no difference. But I choose not to for personal reasons, obviously, right? I'm a recovered addict, for Christ's sake. So going back and smoking dope or smoking weed is just trouble for me. It's a mind altering. I'm not say chemical, but it's not a chemical, but it's a mind altering substance. And believe me, I cannot afford to be out of my mind. And neither can those around me. So it's better that I just stay away from it. Don't do it. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. I enjoy the smell of it. If you're sitting over here and you're smoking a joint, I'll be happy to fucking sit there and sniff it. But I ain't smoking it. Look at Dodie. I don't know, eh? You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. I didn't say it. Nobody said a negative word about you anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. We were just talking trucking. That's all we were doing, babe. Just talking trucking, shooting the shit, talking trucks, old iron. And your old girl came up and we were talking about that. The evening news is a mind-altering substance. You know what, Tranis? I don't watch the evening news either. I don't. And you know what? It kind of makes me stupid, I guess, because at least if you watch the evening news, you may not get the story, but you will get the headline, which will tell you certain things of what's going on around the world. Now, whether you believe what they're telling you after that, that's entirely up to you. But I don't watch the evening news. I probably should once in a while, but I just don't. It's not worth it to me to watch the evening news. It really isn't. I end up not depressed, but I end up shaking my head. And there's been times where I have seen it, or I've seen this, or I've caught like NBC News on online. I get angry. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the anger. I love you too, Dodie. You just keep doing what you're doing. You just keep killing it and looking good doing it. Kara, good to see you. Nice to see you. No more trucking? No. I'm still in the trucking business. I'm just not driving one of the trucks. It's a good decision, and I'm happy with it. Instead, I get to sit here and look at you and look at the sunrise. Now, I don't get to do this every morning, but I was able to take care of some things this morning and take care of some things yesterday, and here I am. So, good morning, Greg. Damn good to see you. Now, don't get me wrong. If in a heartbeat they said, "Oh, we're going to do another convoy," I'll be jumping in one of those trucks and I'll be gone. But other than that, I have no desire to get into a truck, drive a truck, do any of that anymore. That spark is gone. If you've still got that spark and you've still got that desire and you've still got, I still love it, but I don't have that fire, in here that makes me want to just get up every day and do that anymore. And you have to have it because trucking isn't a job, and it isn't a career. Okay, and people need to know that. People need to realize that trucking is not that. If you're a long haul trucker and you're going to do this for your immediate future, and this is going to be your life and your career, and this is what you've decided to do to support yourself, you need to realize right up front that it's not a career and it's not a job. It's a lifestyle. It is. It's a fucking lifestyle. It's a way of living, because you're not going to live like normal people do. You're not going to work normal hours like normal people do. You're not going to do all of the things per se that a normal person does. It's not going to work like that. It is a lifestyle, and it is something that you will have to learn. And then you will take what you've learned and put your own little twist on this and twist on that. But it's still a lifestyle. You have to live the life as you're doing the job. And it's just not for me anymore. No, that lifestyle. Now, if that's what, and that's the reason why there's such a big turnover in trucking, right? Especially in Canada, and I would imagine probably in the US, because the turnover rate over down there is just as ridiculous. Guys and girls come into this and they go, yeah, I'm going trucking. And after about fucking 3 to 6 months, they're going, what the fuck? I didn't expect this. I didn't expect that. I don't want to do this. And it's like, no, and it's not for them, and they get out. Right? The success rate for truck drivers these days is dismal. It really is. You guys, hold on a minute, man. I gotta take this hoodie off. I'm dying here. Oh, here we go. There we go. That's a little better. So yeah, the success rate is dismal. And it's because people come in and they think they've got an idea of what it's going to be like and what they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to go different places, and yeah, they're going to see different places, and they're going to go to different states and cities, and you're going to get to travel and get paid for it. Yeah, I get all that, man. I really, really do. But to do all of that requires a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and people just, the new people just are not expecting that. It's not truly what they expect, and they get out, and then you've got guys that have been doing it forever that can't get out, right? They've been doing it so goddamn long, they can't get out. That's all they know, right? So true. It really is a lifestyle. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 2 Fort, you like that one? Not bad, eh? Not too bad. This one's, I don't know how old this one is. Fuck, it's pretty faded though. I didn't even think you'd be able to read that. Not bad. Brian's getting naked. No, that's as far as we go, Dodie. Don't get it. Whoa. Come on, girl. Slow it down. We're not getting naked. We're doing all right. This is as far as we go. Would you go into Hotshot instead now with less regulation and initial invest? Well, the Hotshots are pretty heavily regulated here too. They got to run logs, well, depending on what it is. But I did really seriously look at that. Right, I really did, Ryan. I looked at Hotshotting. The initial investment for Hotshotting is, you're up at about 100 and a quarter. Like, I'm talking Canadian, right? If you want like an F350 or say a 2500, whatever. If you want like a 1 ton, and then you're gonna get into it for all the equipment, and then your trailer. Now I spec'd out a Dodge 3500 dually, a 1 ton dually, not brand new. It was a year old. The one I was looking at, and I was gonna get it at a bare minimum price. Like, I mean, fucking bare minimum price. Excellent deal. It was going to come out of my brother's dealership, and so I was getting that for nothing. And then I wanted a 40-foot trailer, but I also wanted the ramps. I wanted I wanted the boxes. I wanted everything on it. So my initial investment Canadian, I would have been sitting up around 145,000. I thought about it, and then it went back into it. Well, why am I jumping out of the frying pan of the trucking business and all the hustle and bustle and brain work and all the have to be here, do this, answer phones while you're driving, and why would I do that? Get out of that and then get into Hotshotting, because Hotshotting is even more. You're even busier. right? Especially because I wouldn't have left the province. I'll be honest with you, I was going to go up to the oil patch, right? I was going to be doing hot shotting out of the patch out of Fort Mac. And so a lot of that would be a lot of hustle, it's a lot of wear and tear on your equipment when you do oil patch. Anybody in here that's ever done oil patch work knows it's a lot of wear and tear on your equipment. It tears it up. It gets worn out real fast. So, but that's what I was looking at, and decided against it. Now it's something I can always fall back on. But why would I? Because then I took another direction and pivoted and went somewhere else, and that's what I'm doing now. And why would I change that? It seems to be working for me, right? It seems to be working for me. Hot shotting is little man's flatbedding. That's what some old timer said to me one time. He says, "Why would you want to go hot shotting? Why would anybody want to do that? It's little man's flatbedding." He says, "You do heavy haul, you do oversize." He says, "You're the king of the world. You're one of the badasses. Why would you want to go to little man's flatbedding?" I thought that was actually kind of funny, until I started hooking up with some of these guys that are hot shotting. When I was doing it, I'm seeing what kind of money they're making. It's like, wait the fuck a minute. This guy's doing this and this and this, and he's making this and this and this, and yet I'm in a fucking big truck and I'm doing all this, and I'm not making that much money. I'm generating more money, but I'm not keeping as much. The hot shotters they're generating a little less money than we do, but their profit margins are substantially more than ours are. Well worn, yeah. Both the shirt and the person wearing it are well worn. 2-4. Your boy's still out Fort Mac. He's now overseeing autonomous haul trucks inside the mine. I think they've had autonomous trucks, or basically like computerized, or whatever you want to call it. Say autonomous, right? I think they've had autonomous trucks in the mines all over the place for a while. Like for a while, in Canada here, probably in the U.S. as well. I think they've had that for a while. It's just it's not as hard, right? It's not as hard because you can put an autonomous truck in a tunnel, and it's as long as the tunnel's big enough and the computer can see where it's going. It's not like you take an autonomous truck and stick it on the fucking stick it on the 80 on I-80 in the middle of a blizzard. Right, and the damn thing has to figure out where it's going, how it's going, how fast it has to go. Autonomous trucking in the mines, those trucks are probably set at a certain speed, certain distance. They know, it's all computerized, it's all set, and basically it's turn the key on and let the thing go, and it does itself. That I can certainly see, and if somebody's overseeing that, that's pretty cool, actually. That's pretty cool. I would not want to be working for Swift or Knight or Werner or Schneider or any of these big, megas that are experimenting and doing all of their shit with autonomous trucks right now. All that experimenting and all that testing they're doing. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be in charge of that. Man, that's just one big headache that you just don't need. It really is. If you want to see autonomous trucks, go check out the I-10. Right? From San Antonio all the way across to New Orleans. That whole stretch there is where Walmart and Knight and Swift, that's where they're putting that's the main highway that they're testing all their autonomous trucks on. Dude, you don't want to be in charge or overlooking any of that shit. And I tell you, that's ridiculous. I don't think they could pay me enough to want to do that. No, they probably could, but I still wouldn't want to do it, right? Because it's not a matter of if somebody's going to die or get killed. It's a matter of when, right? And it's already happened. We've already had it with the autonomous trucks. We've already had several of them, autonomous trucks that have, fucked off and gone off the road or caused an accident. Somebody got hurt. People got killed. It's already happened. I guarantee you, like Walmart's probably got like $5 billion just sitting in an account over here doing nothing for lawsuits. That's all it's there for. It's just for lawsuits. Same with Swift. Same with, Warner or Schneider or anybody else that's putting these trucks on the road and doing the experiments and the testing. I guarantee you they've got a room full of lawyers in one room, and in the other room they got a fucking like pallets, absolute pallets of money stacked just for this, for the lawsuits that they know are going to be coming. And they're willing to pay it just to get this done, because Walmart would be more than happy to fucking get you out of the truck and have their trucks deliver and do all this shit by themselves without you. Walmart would love to do that. Somebody say little man? I didn't say little man. Well, not in the little man referring to the little man this way or this way. I just mean little man trucking, little man flatbedding. I don't know. I think the old timer was taking a shot at me, but I'm too dense to fucking get it, right? I was too dense to get it. If you're going to insult me, at least do it to my face so I understand it. Don't make me have to think about it, because then it'll give you something else to insult me with. Going to get me an autonomous hubby. Yeah, you go ahead and see how that works out for you. Many a woman has tried, and I don't know what the success rate on that is there, Dodie. I don't know what the success rate is on that. An autonomous hubby. How would you okay, Dodie, how would you program, or how would you want your autonomous hubby programmed? Like, what would you expect? Okay, so now you've called you've got on Amazon.com and you've placed your order for your autonomous hubby, but now you have to get it programmed for what you want. So what is it? How do you want your autonomous hubby to be programmed? What is it that you want? And don't say you want a mind reader. That's not fucking happening. Are you kidding me? You would never be happy. No kidding. Don't say you want a mind reader. That's absolutely not going to happen. With the amount of daughters that I've raised and the amount of women that I've burnt through, my mind reading abilities suck. Okay? He would only have an on and off switch. Well, you're easy to please. There's no autonomy to that. No autonomy to that. Only an on and off switch. Is he allowed to talk? There's got to be things. If a woman wants an autonomous husband, right? So that would be like a pre-programmed husband. What do you want? Right? What do you want? Tell us men what you want. Women are nuts, but I love them. You know what? Fuck, there's the comment of the day. Status 01, ding ding, you win. Comment of the day right there. Women are nuts, but I love them. You know what? Women are nuts. You gotta love them, though. Jesse, are you boss or employed? Boss. And technically employed, I guess, because I'm on my payroll, so technically. I'm thinking of giving myself a raise, though. I'll have to run that past the committee of idiots right here. Everything. When you own your own business and you own your own company and you own your own shit, you are the committee, right? There's no board. There's no board to answer to here. Just a committee of idiots sitting right here. It's 2025. Some women have nuts. Some do. Some do. Hey, you know what? So be it. So be it. Some do, some don't. It's up to you, Ryan, to swim your way through that ocean and pick what you want, right? And don't be surprised if if you get one with nuts. I've seen some women that aren't women, but they're women, right? That you look at them, you can't tell the difference from a look. You basically gotta you gotta look up the skirt to see what's there. They're beautiful, they're hot. You're looking at that going, yeah, I'd tag that, until somebody goes, yeah, if you want their balls on your chin. Yeah, okay. Some ladies these days are tougher than some guys. I will agree with that as well, Status. And I don't mean just mentally, but physically. Physically, there's some women out there, man, you just don't want to throw hands with. Mentally, I don't know. Women are obviously more emotional than men, but I think if they take the emotions out of it, which is very difficult for a woman to do, I think mentally, sometimes women are tougher than men. They really are. Women are like pianos. When they're not upright, they're when they're not upright, they're grand. Atta boy. That's hilarious. That's awesome, Greg. My old lady is one tough woman. Well, you know what? I fall into that category as well, 2-4. Now, I fall into the category of like dynamite. Okay? It's a small package. Right? We were joking the other day about, because she's short, right? She's 5. Well, her description is, I'm 5'3" normally, but I'm 5'3.5" or 5'4" on a good day. I don't know. And I was laughing about that, right? But when I put my arms around her and I give her a hug, her head comes like right here, right? Doesn't even touch the bottom of my chin. But God damn it, don't light that fuse. 2-4, do not light that fucking fuse. And I adore it. I love it. Absolutely, I do. Women are like M&M candies. What? They melt in your mouth, not in your hands? I don't know. I think some women melt in your hands better than they melt in your mouth. In our generation, we grew up with Wonder Woman. These younger generations grow up wondering if they're a woman or not. You know what? It's one of those buckets. Either get on board with it and accept it. And I have. It's like, all right, it's a fact of life these days. It's not back in the 70s and 80s when I grew up. Those days are gone. You can't relive them. You can't go back to it. You can't do any of that. So, you know what? If that's the way life is today, and whether it be a woman turning into a man or a man turning into a woman, either way, that's a fact of life, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you can either get on board and accept it and just get on with your life and let them get on with their lives, because they got every right to do that. Or you can be an asshole and stand firm and become a religious zealot or whatever the fuck you want to be, and condemn it, and all you're doing is making your life miserable, clogging up your head with shit you don't need to clog your head up with, and probably making somebody else miserable that just wants to get on with their life. Really. She done CPR on me for 22 minutes. Not many guys could do that. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? If you needed 22 minutes of CPR from me, that didn't include the mouth to mouth. Like, I'm not giving you mouth to mouth. Could I do 22 minutes of CPR pounding on your chest? Dude, you'd have been a goner. You'd have been a goner. You might have got about fucking 2 minutes. If you needed 22 on me, you'd have been done. I'd have had my hand out trying to tag somebody else in, right? People are different. If everybody was the same, it would be a boring world. Agreed. Dodie, absolutely agree. And a lot of that has to do with acceptance. It really does. It's acceptance. I'm not old. I'm 55. I'm not old by any means, but my way of old thinking, it doesn't accept that. Doesn't. I don't want to choose. I'm not trying to choose my words. I'm just trying to fucking choose any words. it's in my eyes, it wasn't right. And it wasn't until I started having children and my kids were growing up and certain aspects of that kind of world and that kind of life came into effect, and it affected me in my life. And it was either I could condemn my children for their choices and not agree with them and not have these children in my life, or I could take a hard look at this and go, who is this affecting? Is because a man wants to become a woman or a woman wants to become a man, is that affecting me? Is that affecting me and how I live, or how I'm going to go about my daily life? And the answer to that was fucking no. It doesn't. They're going to get on with their fucking lives regardless of what I think. So why do I have to give up to that? And then, as it was progressing, as my children got older and it became, an aspect of my life, my thinking and my priorities obviously had to really take a big shift, to the point where I could either, again, forget it, I'm not dealing with this, or I could look at it in a sense of what makes my children happy, right? What makes my children happy? If this is what makes my children happy, if my child is happy and she's content and she's living a good life and she's loved, she's respected, and she's cherished, and she's adored, who the fuck am I to say any different? Nothing. I'm not. Yeah, I'm the father. I'm her father, but when your kids grow up and they're not children anymore and they're adults or late teens or whatever like that, a lot of that, you don't have that. You lose that right as a parent to say, and that's a lot of parents are still like that. Like I got friends of mine that their parents are still chirping in on the life that they live. And we're talking like a 45-year-old person here, guy or girl. And, they're on the phone, or they're talking to their mom, or they're talking to their dad. And the dad's like, oh, well, why are you telling your son or daughter how to live or what to do? At 45 years old, that kid's well on their own. Cut the umbilical cord and get out and get on with it. Some of that's also the child's fault. But in my case, I didn't have that. My kids have made their choices, and it's me. Like I said, it's either my duty to or it's my decision to either accept it or not accept it. And the fact that I love my children, and I don't want my children to, to just walk away and go, okay, there goes a closed-minded old fool. I've accepted it. You know what? It's for the better, because the people that are involved are good people. You get to know them. You get to, they become part of the family. Next thing you know, you get to love them. It doesn't matter whether, it's a guy dressing or transitioning to a girl, or a girl transitioning to a guy. It makes no fucking difference. It's their life. My child is happy. I'm good with it. I really am. And for me, it wasn't a hard drag. I didn't have to be dragged into it, kicking and screaming, right? A lot of it had to do with just simple manners, common sense, and respect. That's all. Something personal for your ears, everybody. Okay, everybody, pay attention. I don't know anyone who has had an organism. I'll just deal with orgasm. I don't know anybody who's had an orgasm 22 times in one night. We were happily married until the stepkids got in the way. Don't know why I shared that. Well, hey, throw it out there. I don't know anybody that's had 22 orgasms in one night either. Unless you're talking about 15 different couples. If there's 15 couples in a room, you might put out 22 orgasms, but I don't know a single couple, not a single couple that is and it doesn't matter whether it be two women, two men, or a man and a woman. It don't make no difference. I don't think I know anybody that's ever had 22 of them in one night. Well, and that's even, let's even go, that happened in the winter time when it's dark at fucking 4 o'clock and it doesn't get light until 6:30, 7 o'clock the next morning. So there's 14 hours of dark or nighttime, and you can squeeze out 22 orgasms. I'd love to meet a woman that could get me to orgasm fucking 22 times in one night. God damn it. Gotta head to work. You all take care. Best to you. Status, thanks for popping in, man. Meant no offense, just saying that I hope people find their own balance in life. You know, and Buck, that's exactly what it is. You know, people find their own balance, and then once they find what they want and they find their own balance in life, it is, you know, I guess not our duty. It's not our duty, but it's our decision whether to respect that or not. Right? I think the main word at the end of the day here is just respect. Do I respect the decisions that other people make with their lives? Yeah, I do. Is it my opinion for this? You know, I have my own opinions. Are they right? Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But they're my opinions, and I'm entitled to those. But at the end of the day, it all just boils down to, Buck, is respect, right? Respect. I respect your decision to do that. Knock yourself out. And by doing so, you know what? I'm not garbling up my head with a bunch of, oh, this should be living like that, and that's the wrong type of living. What do I care? And what do I get by thinking that way? I get nothing. I walk around pissed off and irritated. Well, I did that for too many years. I've lost way too many fucking years pissed off and irritated. You know? Not doing that anymore. I will respect your way of life. I will respect you or any decision you choose to make. Bottom line, I don't necessarily have to like it, but I'll respect it. It's your choice, not mine. I'm not paid to make your life's decisions for you. And like Dodie said, if everybody was the same, life would be boring. It really would. Could you imagine a whole world of everybody, whether men and women, but they were all the same? If every woman was the same, wouldn't that be boring as fuck? Right? I like my woman with a little bit of crazy mixed in. I really do. I find it attractive as hell. You throw a little crazy in there, great sense of humor, not hard to look at, nice setup, hey man, sign me the fuck up. But if every woman on the planet was the same, if my woman, and say Buck, you and I went out for dinner and we brought our women with us, and my woman looked like your woman, and the woman sitting at that table over there looked all the same, nah. There would be no variety. There'd be no sense of, there'd be no sense of attraction. Every man would have to have the same perspective on what they want from a woman. Hey, I'm glad it's the way it is. Let me fucking tell you. Like I said, my perspective on women has changed over the last, 30 years of, women I would associate with, or what do you want to call it, right? Associate with, but fucking women that you'd be attracted to, or you thought you were attracted to 35 years ago, don't necessarily stand up to what I am attracted to and what I want in a woman today. I look at the 20-year-old Brian and the women the women I had then, as opposed to the 55-year-old Brian and the woman that I have now. And the woman I have now, it's nothing like the women I had then. And I'm quite happy with what I've got. If somebody said to me, we can wave a magic wand and you can go back and have all those women and that type of... Fuck no. Are you out of your cranium? You have to be crazy. Exactly, Buck. Exactly. Haters only win when you let them in. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I've been on both sides of that fence. I have, Buck. I've been in that group of haters, and that didn't get me anywhere. It didn't get me anything. It just gave me grief, heartache, and sorrow and pain. And I'm on the other end of that now. It's like, you know what? Let the haters hate. I'm of the mind, Buck, that, as long as you're hating on me, you're leaving somebody else alone. There's somebody else in life that maybe isn't doing as well mentally. They're having a rough day. They're having a rough go. They're having a rough patch in their life. And maybe they can't take that kind of heat. Maybe they can't take the criticism right now. They're fragile or whatever. As long as you're picking on me, you're leaving them alone. So you know what? I say bring it. Bring it on. Hate on me all you want. I don't care. I won't lose a minute's sleep over it. Truly, I won't. No, I think I'd be entertaining my sister, my mother. My sister and my mother act the same and wonder why they never got along. Mm. Mm. Well, the old adage, Ryan. It's if you want to see what your wife's going to be like in 20 years, go look at your mother-in-law. And in some cases, in my case, that's been dead on. Absolutely fucking spot on. But then in other cases, I've looked at it and went, nope, not happening. Not the same priorities, not the same level of crazy. Like I said, I like a little crazy mixed in with my woman. I really do. We too busy holding our own feet to the fire as it is. Well, yeah, dude, it's a full-time job, Buck, minding my own goddamn business. I don't have time to be minding everybody else's and telling them how they should be living their lives and what they should be doing with their lives and this and that. My own life is busy enough that it's a full-time job. My brain is engaged, probably 18 hours a day just trying to keep my own shit straight. I don't have time to do it. And, all those years where I was that busybody and I was that yap, then I was all that. Dude, it didn't gain me any friends. Let me tell you. Latina crazy is attractive. It is. It is. Latina crazy is attractive. And you're in the right place for that, dude, down there. I would imagine you are surrounded with it. You are surrounded with it. Yeah, it doesn't matter when it comes to the Latinas. It doesn't matter. Mexican, Dominican, Puerto Rican, fuck, it don't matter. It's attractive, but I think it's also another level of crazy as well, though. Right? Ryan, you got to admit, yes, Latina crazy is attractive, but it's at a different level of crazy, right? I've seen some Latinas that are absolutely batshit fucking nuts. You'd go, whoo, I'd like to hammer onto that, or I'd like to, and then afterwards you're going, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get anywhere near that. That's a fire I'm not willing to poke. Rip and Ranger, good to see you, man. How are you? Good catching up with you. Got to call and check on my mom. There you go. Tell her we all said hello. Make sure everybody's good over there. You doing all right? You know what? I'm doing really well today. I'm doing well today. We got a beautiful fucking day today. Thank God we got some good weather. We've had, I think, 14 or 15 or even, I don't know what it is. I lost track. We've had like rain and overcast and shit and cold. I mean, cold when you come out the house, you can see your breath fucking cold. It's goddamn July, people. Right? It's goddamn July. And I'd be out in the morning having a smoke, and never mind the smoke, your breath. You can see your breath in July in the morning. It's like, no, this isn't summer. You guys got smoke. Yeah, I heard that. Who was telling me that? Somebody yesterday or the other day was telling me you guys got smoke down there. The fires are raging. Well, as you can see here, look at the sky here. That is a beautiful blue sky, and there is not a bit of smoking. Usually by this point of the year, every year, Greg, we are encased in smoke. And we were earlier in the month, and the middle of last month, we had a ton of smoke from the fires burning up north. But we don't have it. We've just had so much rain, and thank God we did, because it was able to help out with the wildfires. Now there's still some burning up there. But we don't have it as bad right now, but we still got August to go. August out here is supposed to be usually the hottest month. I can't say for sure 100% because this is my first year, first time living here full time. So I can't tell you with 100%, but from what I understand from people that live here, August, because I was bitching the other day about the weather and the cold and all this shit, and they're like, yeah, wait till fucking August. It's like, all right, I'll wait till August. You don't have any down there? I haven't smelt any, seen any. Well, fuck, we had it here. We had the smoke here. It was rolling in, and you could smell it. And although it sucks, when you got the smoke from the fires, it is kind of pretty when it's blocking the sun and whatever. You get some really good pictures of some sunrises and sunsets. But yeah, I can do without it. Anybody with any type of asthma or any kind of breathing problems, it's absolutely freaking murder. There's a lack of pilots for the water bombers. Wonder why that is. Didn't they cut didn't the provincial and federal governments just cut some of the budget out of that kind of shit out of Ontario? I think you need to go farther up the ladder, Greg, to find out who's responsible for that. It's not because guys don't want to fucking do it, or there's a lack of qualified people to do it. There's people that are qualified to do it. There's going to be a list published of the 10 most viewed porn videos. What is this world coming to? I don't know. Then you don't have to smoke as much. Well, that's true. You don't have to smoke. Stick your head out your window at 45, 50 miles an hour and just, suck it up. Got my dream job today. Okay. Putty Cat is our local comedian here. And so we're going to listen here just for one or two of these. Today I got my own $200,000 company car and a corner window with a view of the city. Being a city bus driver is a dream come true. You know what? I thought about doing something like that a while back, right? Because Calgary's got a huge transit system, right? It's a metropolitan city. It's a big city. And I thought about doing it, and then I'm thinking, could I handle that? Like, really, could I handle that? Like, there's no way I could be a bus driver, like a school bus driver. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you out of your mind? Like, there'd be 36 dead kids showing up at school every morning. That would not happen. I couldn't do that one bit. But a city bus driver, could I do that? I can do the job. I could drive the bus. That wouldn't be a problem. It would be the 200,000. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Exact change. No, I'm sorry. The arguments. Have you seen the fucking bullshit that these bus drivers got to go through with the people on their buses? Especially if you're working the night. Right? You're working night shift or say you're one of those guys that, you're out there at 2 a.m. Well, the bars are all closed at 2 a.m. Who's getting on your bus, right? A bunch of drunk people. So they're fighting, they're yakking, they're mouthy, they're puking, they're shitting themselves. And like, I'm not dealing with that. It takes pilots with big balls to drop that much weight, that low to the ground. Tyrannus, it does. It does. Those guys have their head and their balls screwed on tight. Those guys that run those water bombers, and the guys that do the helicopters that pull the big bags and do the water drops. Those guys there, man, you got whatever they want to get paid. Just fucking pay them. Just fucking pay them. Like, what's the fucking problem here? Oh no, we don't have the budget. Well, then the fucking fires are gonna fucking burn. I say pay them. Give them what, and they're worth every penny. Never mind that they're putting out the fire, but the fact that they're taking an aircraft, skimming along in a lake, picking up thousands of gallons of water and not crashing the plane, then taking off the lake again, getting 60 feet above a fucking the ground and dropping that water. Oh, forget it, man. Pay them what they want. Give them whatever they want. Oh, did I tell you I have 3 acres in southern Oregon? And it completely burnt. 3 acres. Sorry, acres. 3 acres in southern Oregon, completely burnt because of a 3,000 forest fire. Oh, Jesus. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That sucks balls. I'm fortunate. Where I live here, there's nothing to burn, right? There's no forest here. There's no, ground shrubs. There's no nothing. Like where I live here, it's flat. There's wheat fields, canola, corn, and cattle farms and oil pumps. That's all we've got here. If the fires got down here, they'd burn out before they got anywhere around where I live in Strathmore, or even if you live in Calgary. So I'm fortunate in that sense. If you live in Edmonton, you're really getting smoke, as far as I know. And most of the fires, pretty much all of the fires in Alberta are north of Edmonton. So anybody that knows, or if you want to Google the province of Alberta, you can see where Calgary is. Calgary's here, Strathmore's here, Edmonton's up there, Red Deer's in the middle. And the fires are north. All the fires are north of Edmonton. Now, it wouldn't be a bad idea if Edmonton burnt to the ground. Edmonton is Alberta's version of Hamilton. It's just a fucking dumpster fire anyway. But it's the capital city of Alberta. But there's a lot of people living there, so you really don't want it to burn down. But I wouldn't cry if it did. Your land is still hot. Well, put on your big, thick boots and stand out there with your stick and roast some marshmallows. That'd be a great video, Dodie. That'd be a great video. I'd love to see some guy that had his whole field burnt and he's standing out in the middle of it. Like he shovels out like a dry patch. So, you get down below the burnt part, and he's standing out there. He's sitting out there in a lawn chair and a sun hat or something like that. And he's got his cooler with a, 24 beer in it, or a bottle of whiskey, and he's got a big long stick and he's roasting marshmallows or something like that. He's got a couple weenies on the end of a fucking stick and he's cooking his hot dogs. That I would watch. I would watch that all day long. That'd be funnier than hell. I don't own any land up there, or I would actually go out and do that. You wouldn't have to twist my arm to do something stupid like that. That would be like, here, hold my beer moment. Oop. Don't kick the steering wheel, bro. Tank trucking. If you're not handsome, and if you're not, oh, it went through. Tank just put out a video. Or a short. I was trying to read it as it flashed down across the screen. Every time anybody I'm sub to, I'm still sub to Tank. But every time somebody puts out a video, obviously I get the notification still comes across my screen, so I get a quick, of what it's about. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Hopefully you've got a good day. I understand you guys might have some smoke down there. Breathing might be a little difficult. Hopefully you guys are indoors and you're okay, you and Alan. I Karen, got a beautiful day. Look at this. Look at that. It just doesn't get any better than that. Not right now, it don't. Look at that sun. See what I was talking about, how it's flat, though? Like, there ain't nothing out there, dude. There ain't nothing out there. Check this out. That's it. As far as the eye can see. Oh, there's a couple trees. There's one tree all by itself. There ain't nothing to look at out here. Once you get out past Winnipeg, if you're coming from the east, once you get out past Winnipeg, where's the igloos? Don't laugh. I shouldn't be laughing, Tyrannus. We got them. We got them, but they're farther north. They're that way. Like, you go that way. They're farther north. We got igloos. Don't kid yourself. We got the reindeer. I saw that comment. Right? Got reindeer? Yeah, we got reindeer. We got igloos. But they're way up. They're farther north. If you get up far, well, actually, as far Fort Mac and even a little farther north than that, you get into some of the, not some of them, you get into quite a few of them. You get into a lot of the Inuit villages, igloos, reindeer, dog sleds. Um, there's a lot of that. Like there's a lot of remote towns that are up there that can only be serviced by ice road or by plane, or by ship. And there's a lot of there's a lot of them up there, and they've all got them, man. We're doing good. Still in Ontario, hoping to get get to Nova Scotia for a month to look for. Oh, now is the time to be actually. Well, now is the time to be selling. Out in Alberta here, now is the time to be selling your house, right? For about the next month is the sale season for house sales. So now is the time to be selling your house. Now I understand that you and Al, you guys live in an apartment. Now I won't say where you live, obviously, but if you're going out to Nova Scotia, it's a seller's market right now. Good luck. Good luck. Now, mind you, Nova Scotia house pricing, fucking pricing, whatever. The price of housing in Nova Scotia is substantially less than in Ontario. So if you've got an Ontario income and you're living in Nova Scotia, you can do quite well. It's the same, well, it's almost kind of the same out here right now, right? In Alberta. It's cheaper to live out here. The housing market is substantially different. It's way different. I know because I've bought and sold houses in Ontario, and I've bought and sold a house here in Alberta. So I know what the housing market is, but it is still cheaper here. If you had like an Ontario income and you lived in Alberta, you're going to do well. Yes, Tyrannus. Yes, they do. They get quite a bit of it because a lot of the pipeline runs through their land. And a lot of the, like, for example, when we go ice road trucking, right? When we truck in the winter, to service some of these areas up there, you have to cross native land, Indian land. So there's a fee, and there's so yes, they're getting oil money because the pipelines run through their land. So they're getting oil money, they're getting government money, and they're also getting other types of money that comes in from other companies that need to build roads to service during the ice season. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. I don't think it's the same dollars because our dollar is different than yours, but at the end of the day, yeah, they are. They get funded, if you want to call it that. And don't get me wrong, I don't begrudge them for getting it. I begrudge them for sometimes because they get it, but they don't use it. They don't always use it wisely. Right? They don't always use it wisely. I don't begrudge them for getting it. It would be the same with me. If I had 300,000 acres of land and you want to put a pipeline through it, well, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be paying me for it. But what I do with that money is entirely up to me. But same with the indigenous or the natives, they don't always use that money wisely, and that's on them. Quentin Taylor, good to see you, bro. Howdy, brother. Teeth look good. Thank you very much. I'm rather enjoying them. Still learning how to do certain things. Still haven't had corn on the cob. God damn, I'm looking forward to it and trying it. But I'm still at this stage. I've only had them, I don't know, 6 weeks or whatever I've had them. I'm still at the point now where I'm trying to learn to talk without biting the tip of my tongue off and chewing up the inside of my mouth on both sides and my lip. Right? I keep biting my fucking lip. It hurts. So, and usually I'm doing that because I'm trying to learn how to eat again. Right? Funny enough, when I had no teeth, I had no problem eating anything except corn on the cob and shit like that, or biting an apple. Now I have bitten an apple. I have done that. It was interesting. But the corn on the cob I haven't tried. I've tried everything else. It's just like I said, it's just a matter of my tongue has to learn the new placement, right? Because when you got no teeth, your tongue puts food wherever it's supposed to put it so you can mush it up with your gums or whatever. But, you know, you got teeth now, your tongue gets in the way and you end up biting the thing. And it's a miracle I haven't bit the tip of my tongue off. Yeah, that's an absolute miracle. But they do feel good. Learning to talk again, right? First I had teeth, I knew how to talk. Then I lost all the teeth taken out. Then I had to learn how to talk. Now I've got teeth again. I got to learn how to talk. So I can get by with most words. The only thing that still fucks me up are the S's. Can't get the fucking S's. I don't know what where it doesn't matter where I place my tongue in my mouth to get that S sound. And if I'm talking too fast, it'll whistle. Like I'll get a whistle, like it's a whistle. Now, mind you, it's heads and tails above everything else. I'm glad I got them. It's whatever, but you got to learn. There's going to be a price to pay for them, so I got them. And I'm paying the price. They look natural. Well, thanks, man. Thanks. For what you pay for them, let me tell you, Tyrannus, for what you pay for them, they fucking better look natural. For what you pay for them, you know, God damn it. For what you pay for them, they should come out of your mouth, chew your food, get back in your mouth, and fucking, holy Christ. But yeah, I spent good money and didn't go with the cheap, like the easy way, cheap. So they fit well. I've had to take them in, obviously. When you first get them, you got to take them in for a few adjustments. They tweak this and whatever like that. But nah, man, I'm liking them. I'm liking them. Drinking out of this, and there's the other, drinking out of like a spout like that or a water bottle or something. I keep smashing the front, right? Because I'm not used to it being the teeth being there. So you take a mouthful and you go click, and you end up smacking the front of you. Thank God they're solid, right? They won't break. You can hammer them with a bat and they won't break. But I actually got the titanium tops and all that shit. So like you could take these, you could punch me in the mouth and you're gonna hurt your fucking hand. You're gonna split my lip, but you're gonna come out on the losing end of that. I've had mine for 26 years and I still might be inside my mouth sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I've learned a new array of swear words in order. Because when you bite your tongue, let me tell you, man, holy shit. You will let out a spew. It doesn't matter where you are, too, especially if you're in a restaurant. It's like, F shit. Oh, I've done it all. Done it all. But all in all, I'm happy with them. They work well. They don't move. They're pretty solid. And like I said, I can eat anything. The biggest thing for me was the first couple of days when I tried to eat a hamburger, right? Because I'm not used to having to open my mouth that wide to get your teeth, so you can bite, right? I'm used to having no teeth. So you just open your mouth and go like that, right? Well, now you have to open your mouth like you're swallowing a fucking, like you're trying to swallow a bowling ball to get your goddamn teeth around it. So that's been difficult, trying to eat, like learning how to eat a hamburger or like a sandwich, a sub sandwich or something like that. But other than that, man, it's all good. Karen saying hi to Dodalina. I don't know if Dodie's still here. She was in for a while. She may have bugged out. That's a busy girl over there. Yeah. What else we got? We got teeth. We got coffee. What did you pay approximately? Was it painful getting them? Martha, was it painful getting them? No. I didn't get the permanent like screw-ins. I was going to, and for those, you started at about 30 grand. They start at 30 grand and then go up, right? For what you pay for those, for the permanent, like they screw in, They put the screws into your gums and everything like that. Now I was going to do that. And then I thought,
differently about it after I started speaking with people who have it, and the problems that they were having, and the infections, and this, and different issues. Like, once they tap holes into your fucking jawbone and they start drilling into it, if there's any adjustments to be made, it's very difficult and it's painful. And I didn't want any part of that. So that I didn't do. I have the plates top and bottom, and they're not like permanently in. I can take them out if I have to, but yeah, the implants suck. But I did get the high end, like the dentures that I've got. So mine start. Let's say the starting base on mine were about $10,000, and then as you go up, like I added the titanium plates on the top. I added a couple other small features and shit for comfort and for durability. So you start at 10 grand and you can go upwards from anywhere from 10 to 16,000 bucks. And so that gives you an idea of where you're at. Oh, Doty's still here. There's a lot of maintenance appointments with implants. There are, and the thing with implants is there's no gray area, right? You literally, they have to get it right the first time, right? Because if they don't, well, like you said, right, there's a lot of maintenance appointments and it's for life. You're doing it for the rest of your life. Luckily for me, I'm at an age at 55 where not a lot is going to change on my gums or in my mouth, right? This is what I've got. So when they did the molds and they do all the stuff to make all the plates and all that kind of shit, it's pretty much going to be the same for the rest of my life. So there's probably not a lot of adjusting. Like I said, the first 2 weeks that I had them, you got to go back, right? Because they put them, you put them in and everything's fine. And then you start eating and there's a little rub over here or a little pain over here. It's a little too tight up here or something like that. And then you take it in and you tell them exactly what, and then they do a couple of little adjustments here and there. And since then, I've not had to take them back in. They've been golden, and they work really, really well. So for that, I'm lucky. The implants, I just wasn't willing to do that. I wasn't willing to have a lifetime. You know, if I live for another 25 years, I don't want to be having to go back in every 6 months and have them adjust this, unscrew this, tap that, put another hole here, take it out. No, forget that, man. Should I just get the best denture? Martha, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and I'm basing it on what I went through with these, I would say, yeah. Just get the top of the line, you know, or to the top of the line of what you can afford. Now, here's the other thing. Benefits don't cover any of this, right? This is for this kind of dental work. It's all out of pocket. Now, if for any reason, Martha, you've got a medical plan that covers it or covers some of it, go. But I would suggest, again, it's just my opinion. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right, because you're doing it for the rest of your life. So why fuck around with it, right? Pay the money or get the best that you can absolutely afford. Don't run yourself broke, but you know, if you can afford, you know, if the top of the line set is say $16,000 and you can afford that, I would suggest that's what you do. That's what I would suggest you do. Don't go, oh well, $16,000. Well, I'll get the $8,000, and no, I don't need this, and I don't need. You do. You need it. So that's just, again, Martha, that's just my opinion. If you pucker up, can you still stick to a wall? No, I cannot. I do not have the suction power I used to have. I can't believe I actually said that. Those words actually came out of my mouth. No sticking to the wall. Those days are done. That's what I was going to do. Well, that, like I said, Martha, that's just my advice. Take it for what it's worth. I went through it all. I had to weigh the pros, the cons. I went through, you know, all this shit and talk to the denturists, talk to the assistants, talk to the people that have got them. Who's got plates? Who's got implants? Who's got this? What are you suffering from? How much was that? I just went with the high end, the best I could get, dentures. And they work. They seem to work. They do the best for what I've got. Exactly. Tyrannus, they're tried and true. You know what? They've had dentures for I don't know how many years. What, 60 years? I don't fucking know. They've pretty much got it figured out. They really do. They pretty much got it figured out. So the implants is still fairly new. Maybe someday they'll come out with something, but you know what? Why? And 30, like I said, they start at 30 grand. That's here in Alberta. I don't know, say Ontario or Martha, where you're from, or if you're in the US. I don't know, but like the implants here start at 30 grand. That's like buying a Toyota Corolla, you know, and it starts at 19,000. But by the time you put everything into it, you're at $35,000. So it starts at 30 grand for a fucking set of implants here. God, I only paid $650 for my upper plate. Man, you're lucky. I wish I paid six. Babe, for what I paid $650 a tooth, right? And I got a full set of teeth. Let me tell you, man, $650. $650 wasn't even was less than the tax I paid. Jesus Christ. I wish. But how many years ago, Karen, was that? And the only reason I'm asking is I want to put a time limit on, okay, when did you get them? And if you've still got them, obviously, you know, what's the lifespan? Have you had them for like 25 years? Right? If you had that upper plate for 25 years and it's still going strong, or have you had to replace it or broke it or adjust it? You know, what's the time frame on that? You know, 25 years ago, I bet you this whole mouth of teeth probably would have cost me $1,200, maybe $1,500. Now you're at fucking $15,600. $650 for an upper plate. My upper plate was substantially more than my my lower plate because, like I said, I had the titanium top put in, and it's actually kind of nice because in talking to them, they were saying that when you just go with the not the ceramic, it's what do you want to call it? Like the plastic or the hardened whatever. When you go with that and you put hot things or cold things in your mouth, especially hot things, you don't feel it on the top of your mouth and you'll burn your tongue and you'll burn your mouth. There's been that problem. But when you go with the titanium top plate, the metal actually conducts the heat and you feel it when they put it in your mouth. So you know, okay, this is too hot, or you're not going to burn your mouth as often. So yeah, it's there's been some really good benefits. And of course there's a durability and strength wise, right? These are much more durable than say the regular dentures that are just made of the molded plastic. I don't know what it's called. Back in 86. So 86, holy shit. So yeah, you've had them 20 plus years, 30 plus years, 30 plus years. There you go. Right? So yeah, 30 years ago, the upper plate was $650. 30 years ago, this, like I said, this whole mouth of teeth probably would have been what, Karen? $1,200? Top and bottom? Now, the nice thing is, if for any reason anything happens and I need to go for an adjustment, you don't pay for any of that. Like for the rest of my life, I never have to pay for any of that. So, and like I said, for the price you pay for them, they should be at my house every night brushing my teeth for me, right? Every single night they should be at my house brushing my teeth for me, keeping them all clean and sparkly for what you pay for them. Thanks for the #1 fan thingy. Just don't throw shit this way. I don't know. You know what? I know what that is. I don't know why YouTube did that, Dodie. Right? I don't have a clue why they did that. The #1 fan thingy is supposed to be that, it's tracking, the person in your chat that's doing the most chatting in the comments and whatnot like that. So, it puts a crown #1, crown #2, crown #3. I think it only does the top 3. I don't see the sense in it. I really don't. Yeah, that's right. I lost all my teeth due to poison in my jaw. Well, I didn't lose it due to poison. Um, I have uh, I have something. It's hereditary. My dad has it, and my grandfather. It's on my dad's side. My dad has it. My grandfather had it, and there's nothing you can do about it. It has nothing to do with hygiene or brushing your teeth or flossing your teeth. It's basically down in your gums. Your teeth just start rotting from the roots up, and they just start falling out. Right, and it's not overly painful. It's just, all of a sudden you wake up one day and you got a wiggly tooth, and 3 weeks later the tooth is ready to fall out, and they're rotting from the inside out, and it's a generic. There's a name for it, and it's a great big adrocannabinol. Fuck, I can't even pronounce it, but I knew it was. Funny enough, my brother doesn't suffer from it. My mom doesn't suffer from it, but I do. And like I said, my dad, it happened to my dad. My dad lost all his teeth. I think he was before me. He lost all his teeth probably somewhere in his 40s. And my grandfather, same thing. So what can you do? I'm not going to mope and complain about it. Okay, go buy a new set of teeth and carry on, right? Just kidding. You know me. I know you. Oh, you are welcome. There you go. You are welcome. Oh, my jaws would be swell and shift my mouth to one side. Oh, your jaws would swell and shift your my mouth to one side. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I did. Like I said, it wasn't over for me. It was just wasn't overly painful. It was just fucking teeth were rotting and at the roots and just falling out. And then as a tooth would fall out, the gum would heal itself, and there would just be your gum. But it had to do with the root and the tooth. It didn't have anything to do with the gum. So it didn't shift my mouth, thank God. But I'll be honest with you, I was really honestly surprised with what you go through when you get them. Like, they use special instruments, and they measure your jaws, and they measure this, and they center that, and then they do this, and they move your tongue, and I'm like, okay, like, is my mouth going to be working the way it's supposed to? Is my jaw going to be perfectly aligned the way it was? And yeah, it's a science. The way they do it now, it's a science. It really is. There's a lot of work involved in setting up somebody's mouth for a set of dentures. Jacob, what's going on, man? How have I been? I've been okay, man. I've been okay. I've been on hiatus. Haven't been around YouTube very much. Just hanging out with the 12 of you. I appreciate fucking even 12 of you just hanging out. I'm amazed that there's even 12 people here. Like you said, my channel is a completely flat because I didn't put anything out for almost 6 or 7 weeks, and the channel went. Lost 300 and something subscribers, and the channel went. So there's no algorithm until I start putting out lives, on a regular basis, or start putting out content again. So the fact that there's anybody here right now is amazing to me. But in that 6 or 7 weeks, I've been taking care of some business. I've been taking care of myself. I've been taking care of some family. I've been taking care of the things I need to do. I've been taking care of a lot of the things that kind of, I put on the back burner. Teeth was one of them. Other things, kids, life, work, business. You got to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, you don't stay on it. It starts piling up, and it was starting to pile up. Two-4 hoping to be down that way soon for a month. Just waiting on government to get off their ass. Well, I'll tell you this. 2-4's got a channel. If you guys ever hook up, man, just make a short or something. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. Like, I love, like, I don't do it very often anymore because I'm not out on the road. But I've met a lot of the people that are in the channel, and I've met a bunch of other YouTubers that have channels and done the dinner thing and everything like that. And if you guys ever get a chance to hook up, definitely make a short or something and let us see it and let us know. I like that kind of stuff, man. Do you believe in I don't know, what is that? A moon and a star? I don't know what that is. Man, you're going to have to speak English. I do not have a clue what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, I was worried when I didn't see you online. No, Karen, well, you know, my life changed. You know that. And it was a big adjustment at first. And Dar's life changed, and she's gone on with her life, and we're happy for her, and she's got going on and living a good life. And my life has changed, and I'm going on, and I'm living a good life. And, you know, so you need time off. You need time to do things. You need time to adjust. You need time to take care of things. And that's all I've done. That's all I've done. Yeah. I know, Karen, that you know that she's okay. And now you know that I'm okay. We're all still here. And now here I am, you know, sitting here talking to the 12 of you, just doing some bullshit and hanging out. Right. Summertime is short up there. Enjoy it. Fuck, this year it is. Usually we start, you know, our summers, you know, end of May starts getting warmer, and, you know, June, July, August, and the first half of September, like we're sweating our dicks off out up here. Just like any of you guys, like our weather down up here is no different than a lot of the weather that you guys get. Well, unless you're talking about like Arizona or shit like that. We don't get like 100-degree days, and once in a while we'll top that, but nothing like that. But, you know, our summers up here are, depending on which end of the country you live in. Like if you live in Ontario, you know, you'll get 32, 33, which is like high 80s, low 90s with humidity, and you're choking on it and you're gagging on it. It is what it is. And it's the same in the U.S. I love how the Americans think that, you know, it's July in Canada and we're still shoveling our driveways. Well, no, we're not. You know, it's as hot up here as it is down there. It's just, you know, our winters are a little harder up here. And the funny thing is, it's really not a lot different. Like from where I am in Alberta, okay, the winter here, it can be hard. It really can be hard. But I go 3 hours south of here and I'm in Montana. So I get the same winter here as people in Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and all that kind of shit, right? But the people in Montana, for some reason, think, or the people in the northern U.S. states think for some reason that our winters here are worse than theirs, and they're not really. You know, once we get north of, say, like Edmonton, Fort Mac, then you're in a different world. Right? Then you are in a totally different world for cold and winters. That's when you're living in minus 40, minus 50 degree weather, you know, for 10 months of the fucking year. And, you know, you've only got 2 hours of sunlight and you got 22 hours of 22 hours a day of nighttime. That's a different world. Then you've got something to say, oh yeah, that's Canada. But for the most part, right? Canada is actually no different weather-wise than most parts of the most states in the U.S. And if you look at a map, go look at a map and start in Vancouver or start in British Columbia and follow the border all the way across, right? There are parts of Ontario and Quebec that are farther south than Montana, Montana, North Dakota. Next one over would be Wisconsin. Or Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. Like we've got places like the southern tip or the southern half of Ontario is farther south than a lot of U.S. states. So if you're living in southern Ontario, your weather there is actually, you're farther south than most Americans are. Yeah, the low for my week in Arizona is supposed to be 103. Well, you can keep that. You know exactly where you can stick that. This past week, it's been low 40s here. Low 40s, like Celsius or Fahrenheit. If that's Celsius, I feel bad for you because that's freaking insane. And with the humidity there where you live, forget it. You can't even go outside. You might as well smoke indoors. Forget it. 103 to 118 every day. Nope. I don't care if it's a dry heat. You know, you hear people say that. It's 79 or it's 85 degrees, but it's a dry heat. I don't give a shit if it's a dry heat, a wet heat, a moist heat. Moist heat, I don't care. At 35 degrees, it's fucking hot. Hot is hot. You know? When you're cold, you can put something on and warm up. But when you're hot, once you're down to naked and hot, you're still fucking hot. So 135 degrees or 78 degrees or 27 degrees. 27's bearable, but 118 degrees, forget it. If I can go out in my driveway and fry an egg or cook something, I'm not doing it. Oh, I can't wait to put my feet in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I'm blessed. I'm very lucky. In the job that I've had, in the career that I've had, I've put my foot in the Atlantic Ocean. I've put my foot in the Pacific Ocean. I've been in every single one of the Great Lakes. I've been in the Gulf. I've dipped my toes into the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, as Sick wants to call it. So yeah, I've been lucky. I've seen, and I've been fortunate that I've been able to see. I've gone coast to coast in both countries, U.S. and Canada. It's actually quite nice. I've had heat exhaustion. Well, I bet you did. I bet you did. At that temperature there, forget it. I think it's all bullshit. Dry heat versus humidity heat. Well, it's like in the summertime, or in the wintertime, they go, well, it's -5 degrees, but with the wind chill, it feels like it's -15. Doesn't matter. It's cold. What difference does it make? The wind chill factor on something doesn't mean that it's any colder. Okay? Like if here's an example. Okay, here's an example. If you take a tray of water, like an ice cube tray of water, and it's, say, 2 degrees above zero, and you put it on the hood of your car, right? And you turn your car off, obviously, right? But it's 2 degrees, but the wind chill, it feels like it's -12. That water won't freeze. Okay? The water won't freeze. The feel is what comes across as the breeze blowing across you as the wind hits you. Fast-moving air is a cooling sensation. That water still won't freeze because it's not cold enough to freeze. The actual temperature is only 2 degrees. It feels like it's -5 or -10 or minus whatever. So I'm with Ryan. I call bullshit on that. Point Pelee is at the same level of Northern California. There you go. Thanks, Greg. Right? It's at the same level. There are places in Canada that are farther south than the U.S., but yet they call us the Great White North. All right. Sex is like golf. Playing every hole is the goal. Yeah, you just have to find the course that'll let you play every hole. Not every course lets you fucking play every hole. To run the AC here in our building is an extra $200 for 2 months. Oh, come on. They charge for that. Well, I don't see that. I don't. That's the problem we have with technology. That's the problem we have with technology. That's the problem we have with technology. I'm using a cell phone. So what happens when you're in the middle of doing something like this and you get a phone call? It interrupts the stream, but it comes back, but whatever. Anyway, glitching, no sound. Yeah, I know. Sorry, man. So I'm out of coffee. So I think this will be the last smoke. We got 2 hours in. I'm starting to do the pee-pee dance. I can feel it coming on, and I'm not about to sit here and do the. So yeah, weather up here. It's Canada. There's the funny thing though, if you're a Canadian, and Karen, you can attest to this. You've been here all your life, for Christ's sake, whether it was out east or in Ontario or wherever you've lived. You hear Canadians complain about the fucking weather. And I think it's ridiculous. And I always snap back at them. Oh, God damn, it's fucking January, right? It's fucking January. And this goddamn cold, it's so fucking cold. It's like, you're 50 years old. That means you've gone through 50 winters living here, right? You've gone through 50 winters living here. What are you complaining about? It's not like you didn't know it was coming, right? January and February are our two coldest months, usually in Canada, and maybe the beginning of March, right? But they bitch. It's so fucking cold. Jesus Christ, you've lived here all your life. All your life. Now, I get it, man. If you're from Florida or from Texas or from Arizona and you move here and it's your first 2 or 3 winters, I get it. You're going to freeze your ass off. Yes, it's cold and you're going to freeze your ass off, but you're going to get used to it. But people like me that have been here all my life, literally, I was born here, raised here, lived here all my life, and you hear people like me bitching about the cold? Like, fuck what? You didn't know February was coming? What'd you think? It was going to go October, November, December, March, April, May, and you were going to skip January and February? Like, give your head a shake. Right? It's the same as the people in the southern U.S. It's fucking hot out today. Well, Jesus Christ, you've lived in Florida all your fucking life. You know, you've lived there all your life. You knew it was going to be hot when you woke up this morning. It's just a matter of how hot, you know? I laugh at people. I get a laugh out of people here in Ontario think 6 inches of snow is a blizzard. That kills me. Okay, yeah. Same with and I'm going to pick on the U.S. here because there are people they think, you know, they live in a state and they get a dusting, right? They get a dusting of say 4 to 6 inches of fucking snow, and they shut the whole state down, you know. And meanwhile, you know, we're out there in our fucking we're out there in our shorts and t-shirts shoveling our driveways, right? We're out doing stupid shit. We're out driving it. We go to work. It's just fucking snow, right? 6 inches of snow is not enough to stop you, but yet it does, and they lose their shit. Oh, we got 6 inches of snow here today. Yeah, go get in your car, go to work, or go whatever, do whatever you got to do. Get the fuck out of it, you know. Drive in it, live in it. It's snow. Karen, I remember as a kid. No, I don't remember. Well, it's been a few years. There's been a couple of winters. Because when I moved from like the southern Ontario area up to where I moved out in Camden there, we did get some bigger snow days, right? Where we were getting, you know, in a 24-hour period, we were getting 38, 39, 40 inches of snow. You know, that kind of thing. But I remember as a kid, and I don't know why it's always you think of as a kid. I remember as a kid waking up on snow days, right? Karen, again, you know what I'm talking about. Snow days as a kid going to school in Canada, in Ontario, or anywhere in Ontario. You know, they didn't give you a snow day unless the snow was up to fucking halfway up your front door and you couldn't get the door open. Yeah, exactly. 2 to 3 feet of snow. That's a blizzard. 6 inches 6 inches is not a fucking blizzard. I can work in 6 inches of snow. I can drive in 6 inches of snow. I can do anything I need to do in 6 inches of fucking snow. I can lay out a blanket and make love to my woman in 6 inches of fucking snow. I'm not going to, but I can. When you get 3 to 4 feet of snow, then that's a different story. Then come talk to me about then you might want to get a little bit bitchy, right? When I open my front door and the snow is up to here, like it's eye level with me, and I can't get out the front door, or I have to go out into the garage and open my garage door, and then I got to dig my way out to the driveway. Yeah, okay, then you got something to gripe and moan about. But come on, man, 6 inches. Unless you're a woman, you're not complaining about 6 inches. Yeah, Alberta doesn't get the snow. Don't get me wrong, we get snow, right? But because of where we are and because we're the mountains, right, and they hold the moisture and they hold all that farther west, and because of the flat ground here, we don't get a lot of snow. We do get, you know, you'll get maybe, you know, 7, 8 inches of snow, whatever like that on a good dumping of snow. But we get cold here. Right, we do get cold. We will get, you know, we will hit temperatures at minus 35, minus 40 degrees Celsius. You know, we will get cold, and it's fucking cold because there's nothing around to block the wind. You'll notice out here where I am, there's nothing to block the wind. There's always a breeze. There's always a breeze out here. It doesn't matter what. Very, very rarely will you be outside in where I live out here, and you don't feel a breeze of some sort, or where it's dead air. We just don't. We don't see a lot of that. And actually, it's kind of nice. You have a nice breeze blowing by. It's when you got, when you walk outside with your dog and the wind hits your dog and takes off on you. We closed down at a 1/4 inch. Yeah, so does my woman. Is the Calgary Stampede still a thing? Yeah, it just finished last week. Last week, the Calgary Stampede was in town. And basically, the Stampede comes in. They tear up the city for 7 days. It's still the world's largest outdoor rodeo. Brings, I don't know what the number was this year, but it brings over $1 billion worth of revenue into the city, into the province and into the city. I didn't go to it this year. I had other things going on, and dates and times just didn't coincide. And to be honest with you, man, I would love to go, but it is so busy, and there are hundreds of thousands of people crammed into Calgary, into the downtown core of Calgary. Like you're literally, unless you own your own helicopter and they can cable you or drop you into the middle of it, it's a pain in the ass to get in and out of there. Brampton don't know fog until they get hit so thick that you can't see a foot in front of you. We don't get a lot of fog out here either. That's a nice thing. The only fog we really get out here is smoke from the fires, but we don't get a lot of fog. We get cold, we get hot, we get a little bit of snow, but I think last year it was 336 or whatever. It was 330 something days of sunshine through the whole year. Like, that's a lot. When you think about some provinces, like you go to BC or you go even certain states, you don't get that much sunshine throughout a whole day. There's 365 days in a year, and 330 something of them in Alberta, where I am in Alberta, with sunshine. You can't really complain about that. I'd like to, but you can't. What are you gonna do? Oh, fuck. This is the 13th day in a row it's been sunny and nice out. God, I wish it would fucking rain. Like, give me a break. CSX, good to see you, man. How are you? There was somebody else there just fucking popped in. Nathan. Jesus, Nathan De Silva. Haven't seen you in God's age, man. How are you, brother? I wouldn't be able to deal with that many people. No, that's my other thing, right? To take me into a city where there's like 100,000 people all crammed in there at any given time, it's like taking me into IKEA. It doesn't go well. I'm not that type of guy. I don't do well with big crowds of people that are disorganized, going all over and this and that. And no, I just don't do well. I am that guy that I'd be walking through with my elbows up like this, just bowling over all the little old ladies just to get where I'm going, because I don't have the time and the patience, and it's too much going on around me. But we do have next week. You see, the rodeo circuit, and it's on the U.S. rodeo circuit, right? So it's the same guys. All the guys that are on the rodeo circuit in the U.S., they come up to the Calgary Stampede. It's one of the rodeos that's on their card that they go to. And next week, because then it goes from Calgary, and then it actually comes out to Strathmore, right? And the whole town of Strathmore. There's only 15,000 people in this town, and they're going to put probably somewhere close to 50,000 people into this town for the Strathmore, and it's basically a smaller version. All the same events, all the same cowboys, all the same everything going on. It's just smaller grounds and smaller. So they're going to put probably 50,000 people into this town next week, and it's going to be chaos. But I will go to that. We've already booked a day to go to the Stampede in Strathmore here, so we know we're going to that. So I'm going to see that, and basically it's just a smaller version of Calgary without all the people, right? And the fairgrounds, because obviously the Calgary Stampede takes up a big portion of the downtown core, because that's where the Saddle Dome is, the fairgrounds are, the Stampede grounds and all that kind of shit. It's right downtown. So, but here in Strathmore, it's off, kind of outside or off the town a little bit. But still, it's going to be a good time. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. No, me neither. My anxiety would be out of control. I don't think it's my anxiety. It's my impatience with people, right? It's my impatience with people. It would just drive me crazy. Like, oh, for Christ's sake, get out of the way. Fuck, stop bumping into me. And all the crisscrossing, and I don't know how to explain it. It's like, if you want to see me go batshit crazy, take me into IKEA on a Saturday, right? I haven't been into IKEA in years, only because, it's just not healthy for me and anybody else around me, right? I'll sit in the car. I will. I'll see. Give me my phone and just give me a couple of hours, and I'll sit in the car. You want to go in there and spend a whole afternoon in there? Do what you got to do. I'll drop you off and come pick you up. I'm not going in. You're out of your mind. Not happening. Anyway, actually, you know what? I think we're gonna probably do a live. I think I'll do a live from the Stampede while we're at the Stampede, just to give you guys an idea of what's going on. We'll probably film some stuff while we're there. Maybe put up a couple shorts, maybe put up a couple short videos of like, I love watching like the barrel racing and the roping, and of course everybody loves the bull riding and the bronc riding. I can't wait to see that. So we'll see if we can get some videos up and give you guys a taste of what it's like if you've never been to a rodeo or seen a real live rodeo. All I know is that it's going to be busy and there's going to be a lot of people here. So every morning after I wake up, first thing I do is make my bed. I shouldn't have bought this piece of shit from IKEA. Well, yeah, that's the other thing, right? You go to IKEA, nothing's made for you. You don't go pick it up at IKEA and take it home and just put it. It usually comes with a booklet and a little wrench, right? A little fucking Allen wrench, and it's like, no thanks, not doing that. I've done years of it, right? All the kids' furniture always came out of IKEA. Because why? It was cheap and it was fairly durable. But no, not anymore. Anyway, on the last note of IKEA, let's get the hell out of here. Now I am doing the dance. I got to go piss. So luckily for me, I only live 1.5 miles from here. We're going to go take care of that. I might take the dog for another walk, and I don't know. Who knows what the day holds? Phone ain't ringing, so let's go see what's going on. Anyway, you guys will see you down the road. Be good.